Well, let's talk about the Comorant. I mean, I've done some videos on the Kizer Comorant. This is the XL, okay? So this is not the little guy, this is the big guy, or at least the biggest guy we got so far, right? And it is an exclusive to White Mountain Knives, all right? And you can buy them on White Mountain Knives. And it's a white and a black G10 XX. It's not an XXL. It is an XL. And 119, use LTK as a discount code, get 10% off. So 11 bucks, what, 107, something like that, all in. They don't charge tax or shipping. Okay. It is 8 inches overall length, 3.5-inch blade length, and CPM 3V hollow grind steel. Okay. So, anything else of significance? No. Ambidextrous carry. Okay. So, of course, you've got where you can flip the pocket clip. Pocket clip is pretty deep carry, and those screws, even though they are domed, really, they're not going to interfere a lot in your pocket. Because you've got this thing milled into the side, and of course it's milled here. And of course you could dye this, and you're not going to change the black, but you'll change the white to whatever color you dye it to. So that could be interesting if you want to go blue or purple or whatever color there. So that's interesting. Now, 4 different ways to open it. Obviously it's a button lock, okay? But, you know, finger flick it, regular top flick. Okay, so it's a flipper tab on top, and then it's a front flipper as well, or just open it with a button. So button, thumb flick, finger flick, top, front, whatever. You can do all those. It's an open design. There's no backspacer. There's your standoffs there. All right. It's centered. There's no play. No problem there. Looks good. Yep. And nice steel, hollow grind. Okay, but is it sharp? Let's try it out. That makes a lot of noise, doesn't it? Okay. It's not over impressive as far as the sharpness goes, so this is going to need some work to it. That's a little disappointing. It's not sharper than it is. And I think the factories ought to try and get it, pretty razor sharp if they could. They always give you warnings. Oh, watch out, this knife is so sharp. But you know what? It's working sharp. Okay, I get that. But that's not scary sharp by any stretch of the imagination. I'm looking for any little nicks in it, but it looks clean as far as that goes. But all right, okay. Now this is what it says on the end: White Mountain Knives, Comorant XL, right? 3.5-inch blade. All right, and on the inside here, it's set up like a Vanguard series, so it's in this kind of packaging, but you get hardware. Okay, so you got 4 screws there. So if you want to replace some of those for some reason or another, you got that it comes in, and then you got a little bit of a microfiber cloth in here and some standard stuff. Now, put this baby back in here and talk about the knife. All right, let's put the tape measure to it and see where we are. 3.5-inch blade. Is that 3.5 inch? It looks like 3 3/8. That's not 3.5. Down here to the back of the choil where it touches the bolster there, yeah, that's 3.5. But usually they measure them like that. That's not even quite 3.5 inches. It's 85 millimeters. Should be 90 millimeters, right? So yeah, that's not quite there. What do we got? 3 1/4 inch cutting edge overall. Okay, it's 7.8, somewhere in there at 20 centimeters. Now, let's do this before we say anything else. Half an inch, 12.8 millimeters. So the handle thickness, that's fine. This is 3 millimeter blade thickness at 0.11. Okay. So you're looking at $107, but you got CPM 3V hollow grind blade. If yours is the same sharpness as mine, you may want to touch it up. You can cut fine with it, probably for a good long time, even if you don't, but it was a little disappointing as far as the sharpness goes. This has got jimping here, and you can go way up there, and you've got this unsharpened area here, so you can kind of roll up on it like this. Okay. Ergos are pretty good. This is kind of a weird cutaway here. It's like too big for one finger and not big enough for two. So you tend to kind of drift back here. And I feel like I'm kind of behind everything. I'm almost better off if I put my middle finger there and my front finger here. But then again, for cutting applications, I might use it like this or however, like this, or, I mean, there's a million different ways you climb around a knife to use it, depending on what kind of cutting task you got and how you're trying to approach the material. So, okay. It looks pretty good. I mean, the grind looks reasonable. Trying to think if I've got any issues with that, and it looks pretty symmetrical there. Fit and finish on Vanguard products is pretty good. It's definitely got bearings, doesn't it? And we'll take it apart, take a look at it. But you know what? I'm a little disappointed in the size being an XL, aren't you? I mean, because the standard Comorant is like 3.15, and this is like 3.4 at best. It's not a huge increase in size. Here's the Bakeliter XL, and this was also a White Mountain Knives exclusive. But check it out. This thing's a full 9 inches long. That's a 4-inch blade, okay? This is an XL. Why would you have an XL button lock, Bakeliter, and let's line up the bolsters? You know, just a huge difference in blade length and overall length. Absolutely. Don't you think? I mean, this is an XL, this is an XL. Why wasn't this XL the same size as this XL? I think Comorant standard maybe should have been 3-inch blade. I mean, Bakeliter Mini was like 3-inch, right? Bakeliter Standard was 3.4, 3.5, and Bakeliter XL's 4. This could have been 3, 3.5, 4 as well, but it wasn't. So it's 3.1. It's kind of like we're just kind of wallowing around in the no man's land. And then when we make the XL, we're not making it that much bigger. I don't call that XL, but okay. But it is a bigger, so this is, if you're really not a fan of like a 3-inch range blade and you want more like 3.5 or, full size with 8-inch overall, okay, this is as close as you're going to get on the Comorant. And CPM 3V, that's nice. I do prefer the G10 as opposed to doing the micarta. I really wish this was in G10 as well. I dyed this, by the way. I mean, you can dye micarta, but yeah, it's not an exact science on micarta because it's like a material. You know what I mean? It's different than this synthetic, this pure synthetic here. So this becomes a little bit more touch and go, but really, I like my XL Bakeliter. Now, if this was blue G10, I'd love it, especially if it was in CPM 3V as opposed to 154 CM. Okay, but I mean, it is what it is. Definitely fidgety, isn't it? Do a lot. I mean, it's fun, fidgety, it is bigger, so I feel more satisfied with this. The small one's fine. It's a great, like, lightweight, small gent carry that's reasonably priced, and it's come out in, you know, S35VN and other materials for blade materials that are cool. So, I mean, nothing wrong with that, okay? And I've seen it in, you know, green micarta, brown micarta, G10, the PlayStation, you know, symbols on the black and white. So, I mean, it's got a lot out there that they've done with it. And button locks are kind of fun. I mean, it's not half and half weird stuff. The front and the back look the exact same. You can flip the clip. It's ambidextrous, and it's definitely fidgety. So, yeah, it's cool in that regard. So we got access to the front, not to the back. So if we're going to take it apart, I guess we're going to do it from the front. And so this is going to be like, I mean, I did a disassembly. I probably shouldn't even do this because I've already done a disassembly probably on 2 other Comorants, right? Before. But here we go. What the hell? Let's get a number 6 here. These body screws are number 6. I don't know. I mean, I would probably tell Kizer. There's a lot of, even Sencut and Civivi are all going to number 8 body screws. I don't get why they haven't made that jump on this particular model. Okay. And here we go. So you got G10. All right. And presentation side. Okay, yeah, this is okay. This is standard stuff. Okay. So you got this little collar that's put in here, right here, where the button goes through, and then here's your stop. Here's your standoff. Okay. So let's lay this down. Okay. So these are, you know, steel inlays for support for the button lock mechanism and all that. Okay. Pull this off. And this is your button here, okay? And I just let it roll. I mean, I'm not trying to take it off of. Okay, let's pull the bearings. Yeah, I don't try and pop this back through here. I just leave it alone. What the heck? I mean, I don't need to do anything with it specifically, regardless. Let me see. I thought I was seeing some. Okay, we're good. And then here, there's the spring that was in this hole. But there's the spring, okay? And let's not throw that on the floor. Please, God. And let's get this off. Okay, we got the bearings, ceramic bearings. And then this is a squared off pivot thing coming from the back. And we might as well just leave it sit. And there's your pocket clip, of course, coming in from the front, etc., etc. And the other standoff. Of course, we had to split our standoffs, right? One for this side, one for that side. God only knows why. It's just the way the world works. All right, so we're done. We're done with the fun, son. Push this through. Got the bearings on here. This is the fun part, is so what we're going to do is we're going to set this button here down over the spring. So we're going to put the spring in the hole. Fire in the hole. There you go. And we're going to point that spring up, and we're going to set this button down over the spring and the pivot at the same time. Just because we want to make things complicated and sciencey. Okay, now, so we've done that. It's not terribly difficult to do, and now that I've swung it around, I've kind of, this little pathway it can hold that spring and the button in place while I do the rest of this assembly. And where's my juice? Okay, so we're done with that. So now what? So I'll tell you what. Here's where the stop is, and of course we split our standoffs and everything, so aren't we just clever? And we're going to click all that into place. Almost look like I know what I'm doing at this point. Let's see if we can keep fooling the audience here. See? Well, don't try this at home. Obviously, I'm a professional. Shit. I'm going to get away with this, aren't I? Yeah. They're going to say, hey, this guy's not as idiotic as I thought he was. Okay. And whew, let's put this screw in there. Call it good. Thank God. Yes, I meant to do that. And now where am I? Please, God, make this work. Okay. I told you I was going to do this. No problem. No problem. Bingo. Now, am I off center? Nope. Is there play? Nope. Wow. Does it swing? Hell yeah. Okay. Wow. No harm, no foul. I love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Okay, maybe it's not as big as I would prefer it to be, but this will probably be popular with a lot of people. I think there's some main points that should make this pretty popular with people. First of all, it's nice to have G10, and this is grippy G10. Grippy G10, okay? It's very fidget friendly, so it's no different than the other Comorants in that regard. But it is a larger knife, and the fact that it's CPM 3V and it's a hollow grind, that should appeal to people. And for lefties as well, because you can go left on here, and all these flipper tabs are left-hand friendly as well. And really, the button lock is not that unfriendly to a lefty, right? So, right, left, right. But, so there's a lot of things to like about it. And for most guys, this will probably be the size that you always wanted it to be anyhow. And you probably don't want a big, huge 4-inch blade button lock. Although I do. But most others, no. This will be just right. Kind of like the Goldilocks zone. So, all right, guys. It is what it is, but it's an exclusive for White Mountain Knives, and it's here, and it's not a bad compromise. You know what we do. We love them knives. So you guys, stay sharp.